sign in at the front. Thank you. And it's 5 o'clock, so there you go. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening for our monthly board meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And if you are able and you will, please stand and join me in the
Okay, sweet.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I always want to have.
Thank you all. I'm going to preface this meeting as I did last month. It's our second time using our online computers for the agenda, so there might be just a little bit of snafus, but we will get through it. So moving right along, we're going to ask for an adoption of the agenda. If I could have a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
President Thomas,
Yes, what did I miss?
if we could remove item 6J from the consent agenda. We did not receive the terms and conditions for the RFP legal and CVUSD from School Facilities Board today.
Thank you. So I will amend my ask for a motion. If we could get call for motion with the removal of item J off of the consent agenda.
I made that motion. I motion that we remove page 6J.
Thank you very much. And do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Next, we have our call to the public. Call to the public. It's an opportunity for anyone to speak on items not on the agenda this evening. Anyone need to fill out a card to speak to the board this evening? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to move on to item number 5, which is our information and discussion items. Our first item this evening is our superintendent's report.
Alrighty, so good evening, board. You'll see this packet grew from last month. It's a whopping 109 pages long, mostly because you have department and school goals from each of the areas in the district. And you'll remember that many of these were formulated as a result of our May 29th work session time together. And one of the requests at our work session was that each person include a communication goal. So they could express to you how they're planning to best communicate with their parents, maybe with their employees, with the public, and through our newsletter format that we'll be rolling out in October. So the goals are there. Many of the people who are responsible for the goals are in the room. So if you had questions about any specific school goals or department goals, this is a good time to ask. Otherwise, feel free to email them with any questions that you might have. Their goals are also aligned with the school goals are also aligned with their academic goals as required by Arizona Department of Education. So just kind of an update about that. I'll pause before I talk about some other stuff in case anybody have goals questions.
It's just going to take us a minute to scroll through.
It's okay. All right. So we, some of the goals that we have for safety will include, of course, the continued use of our school resource officers and school safety officers. We're in the process of updating our emergency operations plans in conjunction with the new requirements from Arizona Department of Ed and the Auditor General's Office. We have an outside consultant working with the schools to make sure all the necessary components are there. We rolled out our Share 911 app with staff, and some of you, since you get all the alerts, have received some of those alerts maybe already from schools, and they're using it. They started using it last week in drill mode to practice becoming comfortable with it, to work out any bugs that we're experiencing. And so far, we've only had 2 erroneous alerts, which is pretty good. One was at Heritage last Thursday. Yeah, so it's really good that we haven't floated this out to parents yet, because we're all getting good at it. We don't want to worry anybody. So we got that taken care of quickly though. So we believe that by the end of first quarter is when we'll be able to roll the Share 911 system out to parents so they can also be alerted and receive up to the second information should the school be having, it could be like a shelter in place for weather or anything like that. So far so good. It's been, Del Rio used it on the first day of school to locate a student who they believed had left a classroom and gone to the wrong room, like didn't know what room to go back to. So they were able to resolve that in a timely manner. So that was really good. So it was like, we've had some good uses of it already where it's proven to be very helpful. So also we had the best first day of school, and this is my 18th year in the district. This was the best first day we ever have had. At Territorial, the traffic was never backed up past Hope Lutheran, which is an accomplishment. Other years, we've had it backed across the highway past Walgreens, so this was really good. Every kid was in class by 8 o'clock at Territorial the first day, by 7:45 the second day, and then it's just been business as usual. We're still working out some of the bugs with bus timing and stuff like that because we never know exactly how many kids are going to get on at a stop until they actually do. Sometimes it's 0. So the bus gets ahead of schedule and has to pull over so they're not missing kids who come to stops at the designated time. But as we've been working out those bugs, we have some new drivers, but Brandy reports she hasn't had any late buses. Ed and Caitlin have had very few late buses at the middle school. They're down to just a couple. Probably our biggest snafu still is PM pickup for Paulden at CVHS. Because our buses do turnarounds to Paulden and then come back and get the high school kids. And they were still there at 4:15. So they were there 30 minutes after school got out last Thursday. So that's something we still need to work on, resolve, or getting the kids out of school and home in a timely manner. So that's our one snap with the high school. Did you have any buses other than Paulden that were the late pickups?
There are late buses.
So coming in late from
Yeah,
PM.
we do have a Chino bus that was late today. It came in, I left 4:10 and they were still waiting on it. And it's the north end of Chino.
So we probably need to shuffle runs around, yeah. So and that's normal because we don't always know. We make stops based on what our enrollment patterns tell us, but that doesn't mean kids get on buses or off buses at those locations. So we also, we have had good traffic flow everywhere, as good as we can hope for. The Arizona Rangers were terrific volunteers for us the first couple of days of school. I think they enjoy being out there as much as we're happy to have them. And if you haven't had a chance yet, we did some good facelifting at Territorial this summer with the corner of Mahan and 1 East. We removed old fencing, we put up some big rocks and planted some pine trees and actually landscaped where it's just been dirt and tumbleweed for years. So it kind of sharpened up that area a little bit, and we've had a lot of really positive comments about that. On July 28th, as you know, we had our all-staff welcome back and training and orientation. There were 334 employees there, and things that they said were this was fun, this was inspiring. I felt welcomed, I felt valued. You guys give away amazing prizes. I've never worked anywhere that gave away such amazing prizes. And those all come from our vendors that work with the district. The coffee trucks were a big hit again. And board member Bev got it out the whole morning. So it was there for the staff picture. So we love that you were able to share in all that. As you know, there have been changes in state statute regarding 2 reporting things that are mandatory reporting for board members this year. One is the child abuse reporting, and Marcia participated in that at her place of employment. Bev participated during staff training. Heidi's working on getting it set up through our insurance provider for the rest of you to be able to do online. And then the second training is geared toward mandatory reporting for staff misconduct. And no training has been developed for that yet. So we're waiting to see what our insurance company, our policy providers put out to help us be able to give that to you as well. But right now, as it stands, anybody can make a report of misconduct through the Arizona Department of Ed's website. You don't need a login or anything like that. So I'll be sending out an email to you that shows you where the link is for that in case you have concerns that you feel are best addressed through Arizona Department of Ed. So we have that. At our July 28th event, we also took the opportunity to honor Stacy Krug, our teacher from Heritage who passed away this summer. And it gave us a chance to really show our support for her husband Wade, who works for the district, to let them know that the district is behind them and helping them in any way we can. On July 30th, we had our Meet the Teacher events. I was able to attend all of those. It was kind of fun. And every building told me they had the best turnout that they can remember. The parking lots were jam-packed. There were parents and teachers running around. At 2 locations, I helped for a few minutes with backpack giveaway, but it was really surprisingly, and Julie told me she could not believe how many parents came to the high school.
We had a great turnout.
They were all really there, I think, to see if it was true, if she was really the principal or not. And we'd let someone that old be the principal at the high school. I don't know. So it was so cool. It was wonderful. Regarding enrollment and attendance, right now we appear to be holding our own with where we left off last year. So John created our budget based on our 100-day last year, which was 2058 average daily membership. Right now, we're sitting at, we have lots and lots of enrollment coming in still, and we have many special ed students who we haven't, we're waiting on their records from their prior schools before we can correctly assign them to programs, and that will impact our ADM as well. So on let's see, we had last week, this week. Next Monday will be the day that we drop any students we have not been able to account for. And I think we're down to like 8 district-wide that we either haven't been able to find that didn't withdraw but has moved, but their new school hasn't started, so they haven't requested records yet or things like that. So we're getting, other than our special education student count, we're pretty close on what we have. And next month at the September board meeting, we'll bring for you guys to approve formally for open enrollment, which classes are open and which are at capacity. Right now, it appears that our EDP program has openings at each of our campuses. We may or may not have openings for resource students at our campuses. And then we have but our centers classrooms and our autism programs are full to open enrollment. But we have many classroom openings at the regular gen ed. So that's where we are right now. Our neighboring districts appear to have a bit of enrollment loss, but everybody's still same boat, waiting till day 11. And the last quick update surrounds our build project on the consent agenda. There are items regarding the builds. I just want to talk a little bit about we have a committee that met twice to decide on the construction manager at risk. That item appears on your consent agenda. We also have an item to approve the architect. So as a reminder, the school facilities board in their first historic meeting of this kind on December 13th of 2024, deemed about 8 schools across Arizona, deemed it all or part of their property to have reached its end of useful life. 10 classrooms at CVUSD were determined to be at the end of their useful life. We would agree because they were originally constructed to be sheds, not classrooms, so they probably exceeded their useful life a long time ago. Those are 2 art rooms, our centers classroom, which has 2 classrooms, and then we have 6 gen ed classrooms as well. So we've been awarded 9,700-ish square feet in replacement, which will be new construction on the campus. And we are ready we've been assured that as soon as the terms and conditions are signed, the $4.3 million will be released to the district so we can roll ahead with the project. In our first, we have a meeting set up for this week with the high school, with special education, to determine the best use of that 9,700 square feet. So we have facilities that will take us well into the future. And so that's where we are with that. everything that's on your consent agenda tonight kind of demonstrates that we're moving forward with that project, which is super exciting because Chino hasn't had a new building of any kind for almost 40 years. So it'll be really nice to have something new. Right now, we're anticipating that the build would be in this dirt area that's sort of adjacent to our building here, kind of beyond the tennis courts. So because we still need to be in the end of useful life classrooms until the new classrooms are done. Our goal was that we will turn the key and open those for student use in August of 2027. And we've been informed that that is not particularly ambitious. Like, we're not trying to push it to be in it in a year. They feel like it's very doable and that it's possible that we might be in earlier. We anticipate then that once we're in the new building, that the old buildings would be demolished and torn off and, taken off the offsite. So the high school has been working for a couple months now, and special ed has been on really thinking about how to use that space well. So because we do have, as you know, we have a very, very robust career and technical education program at our high school. Almost 80% of our student body take what in our generation we would have called vocational classes. We have roughly 27 different programs students can take. So we believe that using some of that space to enhance what we're doing might be a good part of it. And the most wonderful part is it will provide some new facilities that are safe and conducive to our students with the most severe and profound special needs. So we are really, really excited about it. And as we move into the design phase with the architect, I'm sure we'll be looking for some members on a committee who can provide input as well. So we had 3 respondents for our CMAR, the construction manager at risk bid, all are highly reputable companies in Arizona.
So we lose the tennis courts, will we have tennis courts in for the kids? or-
We don't know that we would lose the tennis courts. There's a very large dirt area out there adjacent. Yeah. So we're not thinking that right now, but we'll see what the architect has to say.
Any additional questions? All right. Well, thank you. Moving on to item 5B1 is our financial reports. Mr. Livingston.
Great. President, members of the board, admin staff, ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick look at the financial situation in the district for the month ended July 31st of 2025. We're in a 3-month, you could say, it's not really a holding pattern, but the cash that was in the county treasurer's office in July, actually the 1st of July, the end of June, is not pushed into our new year ledger yet, into 25-26. I think we've got 4 grants that end, maybe 5, that end September 30th. And so they still have transactions in some cases coming out of last year's 24-25 ledger. So when those are all completed and we submit those completion reports, then we'll roll those cash balances into the new year. So I've given you a summary here, and there's a couple different things to consider. We started the year 24-25, all cash, all funds, 7.1 million. June 30th, ending cash in the 24-25 year, 6.1 million. Extend that 24-25 year out to June, and you're right back up to July 30th, you're right back up to the 7.1 million. That was on one of these funky little pay stubs that I gave you in your report if you're looking at that. And you see that 6,154,000. That was actual June 30th numbers in the lower right-hand corner. And then you see my first little column, when we did the ending cash, we went up, revenues 1.7 million. And you can follow with that. So there we are, back up to June 3rd or July 30th, 7.1 million. Then we jump into the 25-26 ledger. Really only 2 numbers to consider for the 25-26 ledger. Total revenues 1.15 million, total expenses 1.22 million. So if you were to look at that $69,000 difference in the month of July, that's what you're about 69,000. Revenue less than expenditures, but that's not a concern because these funds we're talking about are operating fund. The county and the Department of Ed and the Auditor General all know what our budget is for the year. So these are budget funds, they're not a cash-based fund. So any questions on the financial report for the funds? This is typically where we are this time of year. I do have two things to add to the superintendent's report on the new buildings to replace the end of useful life buildings. And the date, December 13th, is a big day for the district. That's when we were awarded these funds, December of last year. And there's this form that President Cindy's really familiar with, the terms and conditions. And that would be hopefully presented at the September meeting. I think it's September 8th is a Monday. And then we'll formally accept those. That allows us to receive and spend. It's terms and conditions that we like. It obligates us to spend the funds on the purpose they were awarded for, and it obligates them to provide the funds as we request them. So we like those terms and conditions. And then in addition to the $4,038,000 for the new construction, Dr. Lee, I think, is in attendance. So finally, the $3.6 million quote that we got from our contractors, Pueblo, about a year ago, about August, September of 24, to do the whole south end of Del Rio and put new HVAC there. That quote was accepted, that award was approved, and now they're going to have to come back with a higher quote to finish the job. So that was approved and accepted today, almost $3.65 million. Then we have other quotes out there, but they're not complete or approved yet, and it's to weatherize all 4 campuses. We've got a quote to do Del Rio, and it's about 1.2 million. So as you march along and look at the other quotes that we're hopeful to get approved, that would take the 4 million for the new buildings plus the 3 million, another 7.6 million in new funding coming. That would probably take at least 6.5 million to weatherize the other 4 campuses. So an additional 13 to 14 million to look forward to this year from the state of everything holds. So when we're in good position, I think this one for the Del Rio South HVAC was submitted originally in September of 2024. So just let the state, let the administrative process work its way through, and then here came July 1st of 25. They got another 200 million plus, and we were at the top of the list because everything was ready. So any questions on construction projects there?
We have really positive meetings with SFP, really positive. John does a lot of heavy lifting for that. Not done without him.
Do what we can, and that's all I have.
Perfect. Well, then we'll continue with the Mr. Livingston show and do agenda 5B2, student financials.
Okay, so with the student activity account, you can access that. We see that we started the year with $141,784.29. There hasn't been a lot of activity. There's been $1,700 activity so far. Some of that was high school band, $1,200, student council, Heritage Middle School, $38, student council high school, $42, and high school volleyball, $440, grand total $1,700. And there's another $2,100 encumbered for high school volleyball. So way to go, high school volleyball. They're just making things happen. Tournament fees and some equipment things. So we went from 141,000 at the start of July to 137,000 at the end of July, including encumbrances. So those student clubs will meet and do fundraisers and raise and spend money as the year goes by, but the money's secure and accounted. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6A is tonight's consent agenda. I'm sorry, items 6A through K with the removal of item J is tonight's consent agenda. I would accept a motion to approve tonight's consent.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda with the removal of
J.
I second it.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to our personnel report. I have to get there.
That's okay. Qualified evaluators, is that first?
No, that's right. It's under our personnel report. Item 7A is our list of qualified evaluators.
Madam Chair and board members,
Annually, we come to you with our list of our our qualified evaluators who have gone through the training in order to be able to go into classrooms and evaluate their staff. And you will see the list there for the 25-26 school year. Any questions or comments? Just have to get there. Sorry, that's okay. It's page 95. All right, seeing no questions, this is an action item. If we can have a motion to approve.
Well, you have a motion to approve the list of qualified evaluations for the 25-26 school year.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. All right, item 7B1 is. So you'll see that on our personnel report, we have 1 new certified employee, 5 new classified employees, 2 new classified subs, 3 resignations, 1 retirement, 1 death, 3 certified changes, 14 classified changes, 14 coaches, 14 extra duty, and only 68 timesheets. Oh, very unusual. Anyone have any questions or comments on tonight's personnel report? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the 25-26 August personnel report as presented.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Item 8A, kindergarten early entrance. Ms. Cox.
Okay, good evening. It's that time of year that we come and ask for early entrance for parents with intention to have their kids enter before September 1st. They have to be 5 before September 1st. We did have 5 that requested early entrance. You guys can see in the attachments, 3 of them did attend preschool, 2 did not. Most of their birthdays are really early on, and yes, we accepted all of them. And the way we do that is, for anybody new, Jumpstart, our teachers screen them, and they decide if they're ready or not based off of a rubric that we have for if they're meeting the qualifications to come to that. So we look at all different areas. Jumpstart is our summer program that we bring all of the entrants, or all of the kindergartners coming in to come in and be screened. And then the teachers don't know, so it's a totally fair assessment. And then afterwards, they collect information, and then afterwards, we talk about, these are your early entrants, what do you think? So actually, Mrs. Timbridge is here. If you have any questions, she actually made all the phone calls to the parents this year to let them know if they were accepted or not, pending board approval. So, and they are all very happy.
So we just 5 and all 5 passed the screen.
They did. Well, look, their birthdays are very early on.
Yeah.
So they barely missed the cutoff. So, any questions?
Any other questions? No. Okay, seeing none, this is an action item. We can have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion for the approval of the request of the 5 early entrance students as per policy JFB.
Thank you.
I'll
Okay, don't adjourn.
But not me.
You can sit down.
Did you?
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
I forgot to hand it off to Amy from Sodexo as part of the superintendent's report.
Okay, well, we have time. Come on up, Amy.
So Amy's new.
Welcome.
Hi, oh, great, that's wonderful. Thanks for having me. It's nice to meet you all. My name's Amy DeSlone. I'm new to Sodexo, new to Chino Valley. And I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and give you a sense of where I think our food services team is headed this school year, kind of what our vision and priorities are. So for myself, I am, so sorry, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up my slide guide here.
You'll just tell me next slide, I'll go.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, next slide. So I am coming to you all with a pretty extensive child nutrition background. I started working in child nutrition about 15 years ago. I've worked for 2 public schools and a Head Start back in Oregon. And I have experience with all of the different child nutrition programs. So really foundational knowledge about child nutrition. And then also I have a culinary background, so I entered into child nutrition through culinary school experience, and I have restaurant experience as well. And then back in Oregon, I had a really strong connection with the farmers market there. I did demonstrations for kids cooking activities, lots of things farmers market related. So these three areas kind of make me who I am as a child nutrition professional and leader, and create my vision for that I bring to child nutrition, and will bring to Chino Valley as well. So the next slide, I wanted to just acknowledge our summer meals program was extremely successful. This was already in action when I arrived in June, but by the end of the summer, we had served 13,967 breakfasts and 14,633 lunches, which is just over 2,000 more total meals than last summer, which is excellent. And I hope we can just keep growing that number into the next summer. I really believe in summer meals, and particularly the non-congregate model that you all are able to support here in Chino Valley is really amazing for the community. And then we have had a strong start to breakfast and lunches out in the schools this school year so far. So I'm really hopeful that will continue to grow as well. And then next slide. I just wanted to acknowledge our food services team. We have 4 schools, 4 leads, and 14 additional workers in the kitchens making the meals happen every day. And next slide. All right, so our goals, my first and foremost goal right now is just to get to know Chino Valley, get to know your community, your principals, you all, the kids that we're supporting, teachers, everybody I can. In that, I will be listening, responding to what I'm hearing, engaging, providing quality service, and then incorporating fun into our menu planning and our services. Next slide, please. All right, so listen, we're going to be requesting feedback from all of the places that we can, students, families, teachers, administrators, and district leadership, through surveys and on-site observations and conversations. And next slide. And then with that information, we will respond in the best ways possible. We've already done some of that by adjusting our service model. At HMS, we're now delivering the breakfast bags, which is going extremely well. Adjust service times when needed, adjust menu options to meet preferences, and so on. And next slide, please. And then we want to engage the community by being present for taste test events, getting real in the moment feedback from students, being present at family events, catered events. I'm really excited to see the Future Chefs program. That's something brand new to me, and it sounds amazing. And then sending out surveys. And next slide, please. And then quality service. This is something that's just very important to me particularly. So making sure that we are really meeting service times and giving students the absolute most time to eat possible. Meeting menu expectations of the community, and also finding the absolute best of the products that are available to us through our menu. Providing exceptional customer service, incorporating fresh products, and making sure all of our food is really prepared well. And then having a lens on access and accessibility wherever we can. And next slide, please. And lastly is just to have fun. We're going to incorporate special menu days based on what you have going on in the schools, special treat days, making sure our spaces are inviting, decorated, and providing samples for students and families. And last slide. So please, if you have the opportunity, come join us for lunch. We'd love to see you. You're always invited. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I actually had looked at a lot of your goals and everything, and quite impressed. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
That's it?
Really? We're done? Really? All right. Good night. See y'all next month.
Thanks for having me.
Wait.
I know, y'all are just looking at me. I can make something up. Item number.
Mr. Ed and Miss Caitlin, could you guys, board member Bruno,
Yeah,
and
there
talk
it
to
is.
you guys for a few minutes.
That's where the other hour is going.
I'll be sitting here if anybody has any.
Are you spoken